Okay, and after you key in your ID and your response code that you have obtained from the token, then you will log into here. So if you are the HR, you will have this payroll. But if let's say you are not HR, you won't have this. For HR, let me brief through the HR side on the payroll because their section is only compared to the non-HR team. So for HR, you only click on the payroll. Whatever files that you have tried to upload in AmPayday earlier, you can use the sample file to try upload it at here to check whether any issue for uploading. And at the same time, it's actually for you to practice whether you know how to upload the steps. Thereafter, you may get your verifier or authorizer to reject instead of approve it because it's just to try out the step. So when you come to this payroll file upload, then you will need to upload your file. And your file, if let's say you are uploading using the same file from EMPayday, then it will be in text file. So what you need to do is those red asterisk are mandatory field. You need to ensure you already choose some value. Of the field is actually default to some value, so you can just ignore. But when it comes to the file format type, you need to drop down and select because in this system, it's able to allow you for different types of format. It can support different types of format that you want to get the system to process your payroll. So for your company case, you just select the last option because that is meant for EMPayday format, salary upload format EMPayday. So once you have selected that, you need to drop down. You want to debit from your which account. So you drop down and select accordingly and your debit date. Default, it will be always today's date. You can put future date. Depends on which date that you all always want to make payment. Then you come to here, choose file. You then have to choose the text file that you have already prepared. Probably is this one. So you just select the file, then you can upload it. But before that, you do take note whether the cutoff time and everything or the charges. So for this system, the moment that you upload a file, your file will have consist of gyro or IFT. Gyro means that this one gyro meanings you're making payment from your this bank to your staff, maybe having other bank, like example, Public Bank, CMB, HSBC, Maybank. They maybe hold other bank. So that one single file that you upload, it will split into two batch that you will see it differently because the processing will be different. Gyro, the cutoff time is 5 p.m. on KL working days only. Whereas for the other, maybe your staff is having mBank account, mBank to meaning you are transferring mBank to mBank. So it's called internal fund transfer. So for this case, their cutoff time is actually until 9:30. So yeah, so daily, regardless whether it's a public holiday or working day, the transaction will still proceed. And if it's compared to the EMPayday, it's actually extended. EMPayday is until 6:30, but gyro remain the same. And some of the customers also want to validate their account. Okay, so they want in this system, the file that you uploaded, you actually can do that. But if you are is not a new stuff that you are making payment, then actually you don't require this feature. You can don't take this and then you just proceed with it. So you just upload. The moment that you upload successfully, so the file will land in file inquiry. File inquiry is where you can check whether your file has been uploaded success without any error for each and every particular transaction. So when you come to the file inquiry, because file inquiry inclusive of all payroll and statutory file, so you need to drop down this file process to select. If it's payroll, you would like to check, then you select payroll. If it's on LHDN, the IRB, then you select LHDN. So you just select accordingly and select the file format. For your case, it's EMPayday. then you click search. So what you need to do is you select this two, which is a mandatory field. The rest you still can remain unchanged. Then you click search. If there is file has been uploaded today. If it's no, then you select the correct date lah, or within this range lah. Still don't have. Sorry. Okay, I don't have a record, sample record that in my system. Probably we try out for other format so that you can actually view it. Okay, so example is this. If it's processed, meaning your file, all the transaction, all the payroll transaction are all good to process, total record of 2. Okay, if it's rejected, then you can click on this. Rejected will have some error. If it's not processed, meaning some issue error lah, or the file get rejected, it will have a rejection detail. You can click on it and view. Oh, the payment bank is not matched, or what are the issue. You can find it out from here. Or this one, you probably can check the format it mentioned, checksum invalid instruction amount. So if let's say if it's rejected or not in the correct format, it will tell you the errors from here. If it's all good, meaning it's under process status, the file is ready for process. So you can get your next level of verifier or authorizer to proceed to take actions towards the transaction itself. And goes on other than the salary to proceed with your statutory payment. Same thing, you go under the payroll, then look for statutory. So you need to select from which account that you need to debit it from. Select it and then transfer type. If it's EIS, EPF, EPF got a few types. For normal contribution, you select EPF 8A. Then or LHDN is the IRB and the SOCSO. So when you come to the EIS or SOCSO and EPF, you're supposed to see the reference number. This is where I need your help to confirm whether all the registration number for your company has been registered correctly. If it's not, then you let us know. You verify all this information accordingly. If it's correct, then you may just select and you select EMPD upload EIS upload EMPD format. This is actually we also do accept in Excel format. So it is unlike the EMPD, it only accept in text file. So in this system, it will actually cater for more format type, not only restricted to text file only. So for your case, you select this EMPD, then you choose which date that you want bank to debit it from and select your state code and your this contact detail. If you need any special persons to liaise for this particular transactions that you uploaded and you want bank to notify if I say any issue to that, then we will refer to here. Otherwise, it will actually refer to the company levels PIC. Then you select your file. If it's nothing, you just leave it blank because this is a non-mandatory field. It is optional. Give you extra options whether you want bank to inform this particular person whenever this particular batch have issue or refer back to the company PIC. Okay, so you leave it. That means bank will refer to the company PIC. And you can select your text file where you have stored it, select and upload. And for this statutory payment, regardless your EIS, SOCSO, EPF, it will anything that you initiated and also meaning the authorizers final authorized already. If let's say if it's after 8:30, it will process the next day. It will process daily, inclusive of weekend public holiday. So anything approved and released before 8:30, it will process the same day. If it's after, then it will be the next day itself. Okay, so you upload, then you can same way come to file inquiry to check. Statutory, actually it's not statutory, it's payment action for the entire payroll because it inclusive of salary and also statutory. And this is where the authorizer or verifier will retrieve the transaction in a manual way. But you will notice that a lot of steps to actually look for the pending transaction. So usually I will get the authorizers, you log in, you click on this mBank logo, it will route you back to the dashboard. So this is where you are landed when you have successfully logged in. So usually I'll get the authorizer or verifier, you come to the pending action, look for the payment. If you are doing the payroll and statutory, which is using the file upload, you will need to look for the batch. So how many batches that actually pending approval? If you are the verifier, you look for this part. So this test account, I do not have verifier, so I only see authorized. Individual is like, for example, authorizer also can authorize non-HR transaction because HR is all file upload. Regardless it's a normal salary or statutory, all file upload. So it will eventually fall under batch. It will summarize it for you. But if it's a non-payment, not non-payroll, sorry, normal payment, like finance is issuing the internal fund transfer to another's immense fleet child account, or they are doing Duit Now or Jompe, all will be individually created. It will be under here, categorized here. So example, I click on the batch, then it will automatically route to the where the transaction is displaying. So it display all the batch file, the statutory, the salary, all inclusive here. So this is avoiding the a shorter way lah to get into the pending to approve, pending to act on the particular transaction. So this covers for payroll. And for payroll, HR team, probably you also need to view reports. So where to go about is this report is actually can cater for finance and also HR side. But of course, if you are just the HR team or you are just handling the finance, you're not handling the HR. When you come to here, transaction inquiry or the transaction status, you will only see transaction that you have the access only. For example, bill payment is actually meant for this Jumbe. Bill payment is actually for all this payment, all this considered as payment. But if let's say you are only having access for payroll, then you won't see anything on non-payroll related. Or vice versa, if you are the finance, you don't have access to HR. When I select either one, I won't be able to see anything on the HR related. Okay, so if let's say HR, you know that, oh, I need to see the file that I have already uploaded, you can click on batch because what you are doing is all file upload that is considered as batch. Then for finance, sometimes you use file upload or sometimes you use individual, then depends which one that you're actually referring. So for example, we are referring to the HR, then you select batch and you select the account and look for the transaction. This one usually is 1 month range. You can select more than that. Depends on how you want to search it. Then you click the search button, all this will display. So it will tell you what is the rejected or what is the status are not rejected. So you can even click into the, or it will tell you, oh, this is actually pending for approval. And in this system, you will notice there is 5 icons here. What are the 5 icons about? The spanner icon is actually to let you know. This one you only do one off. First time is actually all the fields will be ticked, meaning it will display. For example, I right now I untick channel. You actually don't see in between here got channel. So when I tick, you will see a channel appearing here. But I find that our channel is not relevant. I don't need to see this. So I untick this channel, it will disappear from my view. So you just have to tick and untick those fields that you want or don't want to see. Then subsequently, it will appear. The next round you log in, it will still appear as what you have selected. Okay, so this is a way to see the transaction inquiry. If you click on the batch ready, and you would like to see what are the two details, so you can come here and have a look. Same thing also, you have a 5 icons here. Okay, sorry, just now I forget to mention about the other 4. So other than this 5 icon, this are spanner icon, where you will see all this view. Okay, I tick. I don't want to see this, then I just untick. Because it's always MRR related that I don't want to see. So I just removed it uh, then it will only appear what you will be seeing only. Okay, so all this. And this one, the rest is actually a method, different method of exporting the things that you are seeing on the screen. Whether you are copy to clipboard or you can export in CSV, export in Excel or PDF, the last one. So if let's say you want to export in PDF, you can do so. But what the PDF format is what you are seeing on the screen only. It export it as per what you are seeing on the screen. Sometimes you will think, it this export may not be that good. If let's say it will be good, you want to do a filing, it will be good with a header or something, align it properly. This one is more towards for your working level. Or I export it out, I cross check at my end before I submit for the authorizer or verifier. So if let's say you don't want this one, since you just refer the details only, you want a proper report. So where do you go about? You can select transaction status. Transaction status report will give you proper way in downloading or exporting it out in a better way of viewing the report. So same thing is depend. Bill payment is only JomPay only. Other than JomPay, the rest all categorized under payment, inclusive of payroll, all under payment. So when come to the processing type, here is where you can select whether you want to view payroll or payment. Okay, so your dates, probably select. Oh. So it will tell you sometimes it allowed you for a greater date. Sometimes it only limit to maximum 1 days only. So it depends. You just refer to the screen and do the correct selection only. Then format, how you want the report to be exported out. It will be in different way. So you can, for right now, to easy review, I will share it, export in the PDF, then I download. So when I see this, it will be in this format. It will is from AmAccess Corporate, and this is the status report and mBank logo when you actually export it out. So it has the better view compared to this is what you are seeing. Okay, sorry, I don't have record here, so probably I need to select a earlier date. Then only you can have you can view on it. Okay, let's try whether there is anything. Yeah, it come out something like this. So if let's say if it's a payroll related, then it will come out. It will tell you it's HR or whether you're doing Great Now lah or normal PropPay HR. Okay, so it will display line by line what are the transactions. You can even download it, save it as a soft copy, or you can print it out. Same goes to if you this for normal payment also you can do so from this inquiry import and transaction status. For HR you will have extra statutory payment. This one is not available for non-HR. This two is not relevant to you. So you focus on this. Statutory also the same thing. It's similar to this what you will be seeing. It's just that it will be in the depends on which statutory you are referring. So you would like to download EIS, then you go and select, do the selection. Okay. So let's select the date and format. I want it to be PDF. Usually PDF it will be a proper way to display the report. Excel is more towards I want to do some checking. I need to work on the transaction. Then I export in Excel. So different way for you to download the report. Okay, so it will be in this way. So it will tell you this is EIS transaction detail report. So this is transaction status if it's a non statutory related. So same, if let's say it's EPF, then you will EPF transaction. So if this is some reports that you can generate out from this system. Okay, so so far any question from the floor? Is it okay? Is it all right? Desmond and Tim? HR side, is it okay? Before I proceed, okay, so HR team, Madam Ting and the rest, you all can try to try some sample file lah, to upload. Do you try the step first to familiar yourself the step? Okay, then we move on to non-HR. So if let's say following session the HR team you want to leave, then you may just excuse yourself first, because subsequently it's all for the finance related lah. Okay, then I move on. Okay, first of all is the account services. This is where you can check your account. The account services will have two sub menu, which is one is portfolio, another is financial report. So we go to the first one first. Portfolio, what does it mean? Portfolio is actually giving an overview all the accounts that you have with mBank. And at a glance, you will know, oh, my opening balance, ledger balance, available balance, or any whole amount to the account. If you have other than current account, you probably have a FD, you probably have some corporate loans account with mBank. It will also link it at here. So you check whether your access has been granted correctly. You check, and from portfolio you will be able to know as well. So later you all try to check after the session. You can log in. Firstly, check whether you can log in. After login already, you check whether all your access has been granted successfully, and it allows you to proceed with your payments and also checking of the account. Okay, so example for this, I have my MYR and also USD account. I can see at a glance here. And when I want to see in details for this account, I just click on the account number. You will notice it's all a link. So it will route you to the next screen to see what is relevant to your this particular account, inclusive of account types, when is the account opening, which is the branch for this account, and whether this is a conventional or Islamic account. All it will spell it out here. And you can also go to the next step. It will have a 5 different categories to tell you the details of your account. So this is the balance related to your account. And next is the daily account balance. Sometimes you may also want to keep track until daily flow and your interest or profit. And the last is actually your float information. If you did bank in any house check is mBank's check or is other banks check, then it will show whether how many days it takes to float before the funds credited to your account. So you can find it under here. And other than this 5 category, you will also have 2 different tabs. It tells you the transaction and for this particular account. And this portfolio is able to give you the transaction and balances as of now, meaning this moment itself is a real-time update lah. Okay. Other than this tab, you are not able to find, and inclusive this financial report, right? Later I will show you. Whatever you can see is only up to yesterday only. So if let's say you want to see today's information, today's balance, today's transaction, you can only find it under portfolio. So the transaction for today, you can come to here. Of course, it will not only be today's transaction only, it also inclusive of other days, previous days transaction. And default, it will always default to 1 week. You can, of course, just go and select accordingly how long that you would actually prefers to view. Then you click search. It will give you the information in this method. Okay, it inclusive of today's date. And if let's say you think that one screen can only show 50 entry, and this one cannot change. If you think that don't want to see it too many, then you back to the default lah. So you reset it. You click reset, it will back to 1 week, the original value. So it will just show you, and then you click search. After you reset, you must click search to let the screen refresh. Then it will show anything that happened within this week only. So it give you all this transaction. And same thing, if you don't want to see so many things, then you just hide the information. If you think that it's fine, I just leave it, then I just follow back. Then you want to export it in different way, also you can do it. Can also. But this one is in this, how you see on the screen, it will display according, this one, where, do, this is the one. Okay, so it will be this way. And the other tab is summary. Summary of what? Summary of the transactions also. And how it display is slightly different from what we are seeing like this. It is actually summarized. All the transactions happen within this week in a summarized basis, summarized in a daily basis. So it will tell you clearly, this day no transaction, no nothing in, nothing out at all this few days. So this one, something that is happening, which is I send out money to one time. This one on 21st is I do two transaction, but I don't have incoming. Credit is incoming. Okay. So you can have it in this way in a summary view. Then you can easily track. Oh, this day probably I need to make some payment, or I then you can easy to make cash flow, your control on your cash flow easily from the view at this in this summary view. And if let's say I would like to know, this day I got one transaction. So what is this transaction about? You can click on the plus sign to view transaction. Okay. And it go back to the same thing like how you see it earlier on in the transaction method, the transaction view. So it's the same thing. Okay, similar thing. So these are two transactions. So this will be displaying two transaction, Jompe transaction. This is also Jompe to Tenaga. Okay, so this is the way to use the functions under portfolio. Move on is on the financial report. Financial report, there is a variety of report, and some of the report may not be relevant to you if let's say you don't have the facility. For example, when this test account, I don't have a FD loans account. So actually, eventually, this all report doesn't show any information, and you can actually skip it. But the most commonly used, and also I would like to introduce it to you, is the statements and transaction report. So when it comes to here, so what we will be expecting is this is a way for you to get your account statement. So in EMBs, you generate out from your account inquiry, but probably it doesn't have a proper way to tell you. But here it will be in a report basis. So what you need to do is you just select accordingly which account and what is the date that you would like to view. Probably it's this particular March only. And this report, it cannot be one whole year itself. It's a monthly basis. Maximum is 31 days only. So you do the selection accordingly, then format type. So how you want to export it in, it will be PDF or Excel or HTML. So you select, just download. So once it's ready, you can actually open up. It will be in this way. Previously in EMBIS, you may not have all this who actually generated. Okay, so um then it will maybe also you don't have the tables. Tables give you easier to review what are the informations about. So it give you all this information. So as far as actually month end, I need to do account closing already. Sometimes bank may also send you late on the account statement, or they may also email to you late. So you can actually 1st of April you can generate your 1st of March until 31st March, because this report is, it always exclude today's date. So on the first day, you can actually get the previous days transactions available in the systems ready. So you download it. If let's say you got a lot of transaction, of course it takes slightly longer. But if it's a little, nothing exceeded, I mean, not extremely a lot, then it will be very fast, like that you can generate out. So you can also download, save it as a soft copy, or you can also print it out, because sometimes if bank do forward it to you or send email it to you, sometimes it may not be immediate, so you can come here and download yourself first. So this is one of the useful reports that you can refer. If let's say you want to do the account balance only, so you can come here and select, so that system will generate out. And your balance, you got to select out which particular dates that you want to refer. Then you download it on Excel or PDF. Then you download it. Okay, so it'll give you this your this account because I didn't select. So the account. So all accounts that I have, it will actually show in this table. If you only select one particular account, then of course this account will only display example. Okay, so these are the two different reports. The rest I'm not going through because I don't have the facility. So that covers on account services. Move on is to do payment. And payments and transfer is actually you can do a file upload or you can do one-to-one payment. One-to-one payment is almost similar like how you initiate the transaction in EMBase. So on account transfer and subsidiary account transfer is the similar way of doing, which you just drop down from which account you are transferred to which account. These are all the drop down. This own account is all account that under this company. And subsidiary probably is your child account. Then it will have a drop down for this because mine is standalone. I don't have any subsidiary, so I won't be able to use this subsidiary. And when it goes to the third party account transfer, is actually for anything that you want to do from paying from your this account, Immense Fleet account to your supplier. Probably is in mBank or non-mBank also can, or your own Immense Fleet in other bank, probably in Maybank. You want to use this third party account transfer. Okay, so you just drop down and do the necessary input to the each and every field. Okay, payee name at this system, it allows you to register the payee. How to register payee is and what is the purpose of doing it? Register payee meaning that I favorite the particular payee because I always will need to make payment. So I favorite it up. I don't have to always, every time make payment, I need to go and look for the information. So it's quite tedious or it's troublesome. So you make the system one off only. You go and add. But of course, when you firstly use, because in EMBs, you don't have such a feature. So you only have the template. Template is different from payee, register payee. So firstly, must always register the payee first. So first field is to put a code to the payee so that when you see this, I see Hui Ling, meaning I'm going to transfer to Hui Ling. Okay, then you put in the person's name accordingly. And the account number and the bank detail. Bank detail is the person is using which bank. Or you are doing routing code or Swift, majority you all probably use bank or Swift only. Okay, then you key in what is the bank. Okay, select accordingly and you save. So when you save ready, when you mouse over to the eye icon, you will see the details of the bank. And you need to declare whether this Hui supplier, the payee that you are making, is a resident or non-resident. Okay, you put in. Then the notification email is important. If the bank have you to make payments, do you require to notify anybody? Probably you want to notify the payee or you want to include yourself to be notified as well because you will want to know whether the payments have successfully made. So you can put in the email. Because this field can cater for 150, so you can put more than one email. So how to put it? You just enter the multiple emails separated by comma and make sure no space. You can mouse over here and it will tell you, it gives you a tips how to input the email. It is unlike others like, you go and key in wrongly edit, then it will immediately tells you the information later on. Okay, so this one, you probably put in the email of your company email. Then you put a comma because just now it says separated by comma and no space. Don't put a space here. If you put a space later on, it will tell you error. Okay, it straight away tells you please enter valid email. Okay, so when I removed it, then I got input. The next email probably is immensefleet@gmail.com. Okay, then this is the correct. And system will automatically count for you left with how many character, meaning how many more emails that you can input. Usually 150, you can easily put 4 to 5 email generally. Then you go and save or save and register. This is where you need to determine whether this supplier is a supplier that you always will want to make payment, or is only for this round only. If it's this round only, you just save. Then system won't register this wheeling this supply into the system for your future usage. But you think, oh, I will need to always make payment to this supplier. So you click save as register. When you click save as register, system will automatically save it the moment authorizer or verifier approve this payment. Because when verifier verify edit everything, meaning oh, this supply is a genuine and valid one for your company. And next round, when you want to do payment, you don't have to input this one and all, you don't have to add. So you come to the register payee and you just straight away search for the payee. If let's say you are not sure what is the name, exact name that you put, you just put double ampersand. You see, it gives you a hint. Please put a double percentage to search all. Then you click search on. So all the payee that you have registered previously, it will display. And when you select this, example, I'll make payment to Paylee and just select. So Paylee's account and the detail will always display. So this is not what I input just now. This is previously I stored it in the system. Then you can make payment. For your case, you don't have EDIF. EDIF is e-dividend. People will want to make online. Okay, some of the customer would have this. And for your case, you will only see gyro, rentas, and SWIFT only. Okay, so for gyro, probably you want to make payment for 2 ringgit, then you put in the amount and your debit date. So debit date can be today's date, can be future date, and ID type. I think this one is something not new to you, is something that you already familiar, used to it. So you key in accordingly, and the payment detail is what do you want to display in the statement, or what do you want to display in the payee statement as well. But it's also subject to whether the payee statements is able to generate it out. Okay. And if let's say you want to put extra information, then you input accordingly. But do take note, gyro only accept 20 character. And 20 character is not, you see 5 fields here, you input 20, 20, 20 until here. No. Gyro only accept 20 character. The 20 is all concatenate up. They take the first 20 only. But rentas and SWIFT is slightly more. So you can input more if let's say you are using other payment mode. But I'm using gyro, so it only accept 20. So do take note. And it's actually, you can leave it blank, not necessary that you are put. Attachment is important when you are doing SWIFT payment, because you need to put the supporting document. This system allowed you to upload it instead of like when you are doing EMBIS SWIFT transaction via the EMBIS, you still need to manually email it to our relationship manager or to our Swift support team to support the particular transactions that you want to proceed. Okay, so at here you don't have to anymore. In this new system, you can straight attach. So how attach? You click on the attachment and you choose the file that you already scanned it, and make sure it's all either in either of this format. Do take note, the maximum file size is not more than 5 MB. You choose to scan the part that is with the important information on it. You don't want to go and scan the whole stack of the document, okay? You scan those relevant pages with the information so that it can support that you really have a need to make this SWIFT transaction. Other payment mode like gyro, rentas, actually you don't need supporting document. As long as you verify the details, then you are good to go. And recurring payment. So some of the customer may also want to do some auto debit or some call it standing instruction. So it's a periodic payments that you need to make, and at the same amount, probably is loan or some rental, then you can choose this function. So from here, it will tell you the first transfer date is always start from tomorrow. Because you can only recurring tomorrow. Today itself, you already selected. Or you want to recur, the first payment is a future date, you choose it accordingly. Whereas the frequency, it can be 4 different frequency, daily, weekly, monthly, or quarterly. And no matter how you select, do take note, the maximum it can cater is actually 9 months only. It will automatically show it here. Okay. So the maximum it can cater is for 9 months, but 6 months, sorry. So it will automatically show September is the last payment that you can make recurring until. So if you need more, then after 28 or after the subsequent payment, then before the last payment made on this date, you can do another round of recurring payment instruction. And if let's say you think that, oh, I want it to be slightly earlier, not this late, this date itself, so you can choose from the last, probably is until July. Then I'll just select. So we'll refer to here. And the payment, if let's say some of the people, the payment on the last payment, it will be slightly lesser amount or bigger amount, and then you indicate accordingly. Otherwise, you'll follow what has been specified here. Then you just submit for approval. Save if you are not sure whether you want to proceed or you want to double confirm first, then you save it as a draft first. Otherwise, you just submit for approval. So when you submit for approval, your verifier will get the transaction, or they will get the, you will need to inform them lah. System will also trigger a notification, but then when it turns on, it will turn on for everyone. So do let us know if let's say you require that to be turned on. So other than the one-to-one, we also do support file upload lah. Okay, the one that you upload in EMBIS, you can use it to upload in AmAccess Corporate. And in EMBIS, you only accept text file. So in this AmAccess Corporate, we accept more than text file. Excel also can, Excel SX also can. So if let's say you want, you think that hey, it's very tedious waiting to input it, you want it to be prepared at my maker's convenient times on Excel, not always open up, log in with internet banking, because Excel you can prepare anytime. If you want that, you can let us know. We will share the Excel template for you. If you don't, you just use your text file from your auto payment system that generated out that you already been uploading into the EMBase. You can upload it like here, no problem. And same thing, this one, it will tell you that the respective cutoff time. And internal fund transfer is 9:30. FT foreign currency is 4 p.m. Same goes to SWIFT payment. Date now is 11:30. So I'll go to date now after this. So that is where you will see what are the different way of doing the payment, and also tells you some charges of it. And payment action also, like how I tells you, is a manual way to retrieve the pending to act transaction. Okay, so that's on the payment and transfer. We moved on to Date Now. Date Now is also called instant transfer previously, but now all named it under Date Now. So Date Now actually, like what is the name, how it being named? Date Now, so meaning you transfer, the person will get it now. Okay, so you send the money to the person immediately lah. And the cutoff time is actually 11:30. If let's say you submit and approve it before 11:30, the transaction will approve it. I will process on the same day, and it process daily, regardless of KL working day or Sabah Sarawak holiday or whichever day. As long as system is not doing maintenance, it will process accordingly. So another advantage is actually we will go through what you will then explore what are the advantages. So usually you want to make payments to people, you will pay to the person's account. But via Date Now, you can actually pay to Date Now ID. So what is Date Now ID? Date Now ID meaning nowadays you actually no longer need to remember the person's account number. You can input their army number, passport number, business registration number, mobile IC, or this one passport number, this is police number. So as long as the person already registered, like probably registered the mobile with the bank itself to collect money, then you can easily send the fund to the person's mobile number to receive the fund. So you no longer need to remember the ID number. That you no longer remember the person's account number. Because I'm sure every one of you, you will have the mobile phone. And you You can easily find the person's mobile instead of other numbers. So this is why we have been introducing for individual, you will normally use mobile or IC. IC sometimes you may not have it also. And company wise, usually will use business registration number, but not all company would have actually registered. So if let's say you are transferring from company to company, you are not sure, you only have the account number, then proceed to use back the account number, like how you do. So let's try out the Do It Now ID first, mobile. Example, I put in my mobile number. So the third that I'm going to tell you on the advantage is after you put in all this and make sure you put in all the reference, all the red asterisk field, you input with the information payment. It depends what you want to input because this will show in your and payee's bank statement. You input it here, it will show display. And you want to notify anybody? If yes, then you put in the number, a number blah, is the email address. Then you click next. When you click next, that is the next beauty of using Do It Now is it will tell you this mobile number, is it a valid mobile number to receive the money? If it's yes, the person's name will appear and you can easily cross-check whether this is the correct persons that I'm transferring. If it's yes, you just I'm here to agree the terms and condition and you submit for approval. You can also save as template for your future usage. Okay. So if you think it is not, then I edit it. I got to edit it and I want to make payments to account because you think, oh, company wise better I make payments to account instead of mobile because is mobile is more to personal then you got to key in your account number. I'm just randomly put an account number. And this Do It Now also, it allow you to make payments to all the banks and also non-bank. So what is non-bank? Such as Big Pay and also Boost and also Touch and Go. So all this, they are not bank, but they are financial institute who actually join the Do It Now facility. So we are able to make transfers to them, not only bank itself today. Okay. So you just select out probably this account number is actually under my supplier is under CIMB. Then I just select CIMB. Then my payment type, this is a whether credit card or fund transfer or loan. So if it's not a credit card payment, not loan payment, then you just select fund transfer. So you key in the amount, transfer date, and transfer date also you can put future date. Don't worry on this part. But the default is always today's date. Then whether it's resident or non-resident, you just declare yourself. Then you click next. When you click next ready, system will straight away verify this and tells you, it prompted out this error, meaning it's invalid transaction not allowed. Meaning that actually this account number something wrong because it was straight away verified with CIMB. This is the only methods of verifying. Otherwise, the transaction can only be verified when the moment transaction reach beneficiary bank and they want to do crediting time. Other than right now, the rest is verifying when the funds is reaching the beneficiary bank. They will before they do crediting, they will verify it. Do It Now is the only payment mode that you can straight away when the maker time you already can verify whether your account is a valid one that you can proceed or is if let's say it comes up another person's name at the bottom is not belong to your supplier, then you can easily trace as well. Okay, so that is the beauty, a few advantages of using Do It Now. And Do It Now also not only Do It Now transfer, which is you do it one by one, we also allow file upload lah. But then file upload at this moment, actually we only is still in a trial run because it's a newly deployed since January, so we're still in the trial run. If you think that you need this, then you let us know because it also cater for text file, Excel, and right now is actually not in EMBIS but only available in AmAccess Corporate. So some of the customer they may want. And then if you want to use file upload, the only thing is for optimal performance, we only recommend you for per single file, you only allowed to do 1,000 transaction. You don't do more than that. Otherwise, it will slow down and then it will take times to load out and verify a transaction. And sometimes if it's too long, it will cause the timeout and then you will see error come out here. Okay, so if you really needs to do file upload for the do it now, then you let us know. We will schedule the sample. So next is only do it now action is like actually for the authorizer verifier to look for the transaction manually from here. Do it now ID maintenance is only available for administrator if your administrator decided um, to register your business registration number as the Do It Now ID, meaning that next time your payee can actually put in your business registration number instead your account number already. You also can receive the fund. You can register it here. If you don't want, you just leave it. Okay. This is only under the only allowed to be done by administrator. Next to go on is on the Jompe. Jompe is a similar way on how you do it in Yambis. Same thing. As long as you see this logo, you can do the in the not advice in the invoice or the bill itself. You can actually proceed to use this one. It's actually to pay to the utility bills are most of it. So you key in, you want to make how much payment. And then you key in your biller code and then the ref one. These two you are supposed to get from the bill itself. Beside this logo, you will have the biller code number. Then ref one is a must. Some of the biller will have ref two. After ref one, will have ref two. Ref two is actually optional. Some of it have, some of it don't have. So you input what you have, you able to find from the bill itself. Then only you proceed. Okay, Jompe also allow file upload lor. Same thing. In EMBs, if let's say you already have do file upload, same goes to here. The only thing is in this system, it allow for Excel upload lah. No longer just restrict to text file only. So that's cover on how you make payment in different way. And last, the inquiry and reports, I think I've covered just now. So last is on transfer detail. This is I would like to highlight to the finance team. Some of sorry, sometimes you make payment. You have indicated the email, and then system will also send out the advice to the person accordingly. But sometimes the person's mailbox probably have issue, and the payment advice didn't reach them. If let's say you also include your email and you still can find it, you can of course forward to the person. But so happen if let's say you can't find the record, then you can come to transfer detail. Transfer detail is like a payment advice. You can come to here, you look for the transaction. Of course, you do accordingly to your selection search. If you don't want to just search from the date itself, you want to have advanced search also, you can. Probably you want to look for which particular reference number only if you have, okay? So otherwise, you just refer to the date. Then you come to here, you see already, this is the one that I want to see. So you can put this one, and then you can come to here. This is the PDF that you can actually download or print it out. You can share it to the person. It will tell you clearly whether this payment already made. So happen the one that I'm showing is actually pending for approval. At any stage also, it will show under here. So you can actually, where is it? This one, then you can print it out or you can share it out. If it's processed already, you paid, then tell if the person look for you, I think the status would have paid already. Okay, so you can come here and look for it and share it out to the person. Okay, so that's cover for all the function, transfer and tools utility is later we will get the IT to migrate the template from EMBIS to AmAccess corporate, but it's only for those valid template. Okay, so meaning those active and valid template that they will help to arrange. but it's provided you all help to verify whether your setting all okay, then only they can arrange to do the migration over. Help desk is actually you are sending a request to our uh, internet corporate internet banking, the customer service if you need help lah. But I think if it will be best you email to us lah, easier, because our corporate internet banking, this customer support, they may take a while lah, to respond to you. And then the other one is you can look for the forms and the user guide is under these tools and utility. Okay. So forms, I would have actually shared it earlier on, but then subsequently, if any new updated form, it will forms and also user guide, it will actually available in the system for you to download it. Okay. So any questions from the floor? Do you have some sample transaction? You can start doing some